but I believe it might be late. I've been waiting for his test this morning, but yesterday he confirmed his attendance. And of course, we have senatorial candidate Dr. Carl E. Balita. Okay, so let us start the forum, even though Secretary Dela Peña is not yet around. And let me introduce first Dr. Carl Balita. For the information of everybody, I'm sure you know that he ran for senator under Action Democratico Party this May 9, 2022. And this is slogan, ang mabuting balita ng Senado. But bad news, right? Bad news, he was not able to make it to the Magic 12. Okay? Nandun po tayo sa National Board of Canvassers during the last 2 days. Tinignan po natin yung pagbilang ng mga Certificate of Canvass. Ito po kasi binibilang nila at that time yung for senators and of course the party list groups. Okay? So, I don't know, but I believe that most of the voters, okay, if they had the background of Dr. Carl Balita, would have voted for him. Okay? So, siguro Dr. Carl, medyo na-late kasi yung media mileage mo, no? Yung talking to the press and so on. So, hindi ito nakaabot yung magandang balita doon sa mga kasulok-sulukan ng Pilipinas. But anyway, si Dr. Carl Balita, ito po ay isang nurse, midwife, entrepreneur, writer, producer, licensed teacher, Doctor of Education and Humanities, and so on. Okay? Nasa unuli po siya. He has been a business news anchor of ABS-CBN's DZMM, Radyo Negosyo, for the last 2 decades. And of course, he is the owner of Carl E. Balita Review Center. Meron pa rin siyang resort, no? The Mahalta Resort. Writer, The Business Mirror. Carl and Carl Production. Okay? May motivational and inspirational speaker. And the Asian Wall Street Journal dubbed him as the man who can electrify crowds and bring audiences on their feet. So, nagtataka ako, Dr. Carl, no, ng mga kampanya, dapat ikaw ang pinagsasalita ng mahaba, no? To electrify the audience. So anyway, Dr. Carl Balita, magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Alam nyo, hindi naman in defeat sa pagkatalo, hindi naman laging masamang balita yon o bad news, no? Kasi naramdaman ko, ang importante sa isang kagaya ko na wala namang planong pumasok sa politika, sa eleksyon, kung hindi lamang talaga nakumbinsi ng sektor na tumakbo. Masaya na ako sa nakuha kong numero, considering na mas masaya ako sa nakuha kong pagmamahal ng mga tao, kasi kung pupunta ka sa Twitter, sa Facebook, talagang mararamdaman mo yung panghihinayang ng marami. Sa akin, mahalaga yun. Anin ko yung nanalo ako na tatanungin ko ba't ako nanalo. Parang masarap din pala sa pakiramdam yung natalo ka na pinanghihinayangan kang natalo. At ang nakakatuwang maramdaman sa taong bayan is yung sila mismo nagsisisihan. Kasi kung 4 million yung bumoto kay Carl, kung tigidalawa pa tayo na nakumbinsi, di dapat may senador tayong teacher. Para bang nagising yung, at least yung social listening ko, no, sa social media, parang naramdaman kong nagising yung tao na, teka, wala nga tayo na ihalal na teacher, Teka, wala nga tayo na ihalal na health professional, Kaya mapapansin niyo sa social media, even as I challenge you to go to Twitter and Facebook, may panghihinayang kay Mingita Padilla, na isang doktor, sa akin na nag-iisang guro at nurse at professional. May panghinayang kay mga Manny Piñol, Ibo, yung mga ganon. So meron kasing sektor na very clear kung ano yung kailangan namin at ano yung may offer namin. Masaya ako doon dahil being a neophyte in this field, nakuha ko naman yung gusto kong attention towards the end, and more importantly, nakakuha tayo ng numerong maganda namin.
Okay, magandang umaga po. Nandito na po ang isa sa aking mga panauhin, Science and Technology Secretary, Fortunato Boy Dela Peña. Si Secretary Boy Dela Peña is a chemical engineer, a professor and civil servant. He is the incumbent secretary of the DOST, and he used to be the undersecretary of the DOST under two previous administrations. Makikita natin na si Secretary De La Peña is actually educated in various schools. He attended the University of the Philippines in Diliman, in Quezon City, where he received his bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. He earned his master's degree in industrial engineering and a PhD in business administration. He also received a diploma in industrial quality control from both Centrum International Education in Netherlands, and likewise pursued further studies in operations research at the University of Engineering in Brooklyn, United States. So, good morning, Secretary Boy.
Good morning sa ating mga friends in media.
Morning.
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 Dr. Carl.
Okay.
Can we request one more mic? Yo, one more mic. Dalawa lang itong mic namin dito. Dapat tatlo. Okay, so babalikan pa namin, Dr. Carl, ha? So dito muna tayo kay Secretary Boy. Secretary Boy, you have been with two previous administrations, o three na, no? Three.
Actually, 5 na.
Five na ba? Okay. Kasi including your being undersecretary, no?
I was head of planning during the first Marcos administration.
Okay.
I was the director of the Technology Application and Promotion Institute during the Cory administration. I was the undersecretary during the Arroyo and Pinoy administration. Then I retired and was hired as secretary by President Duterte.
So that speaks well, no, of the competence of Secretary De La Peña. Now, presumptive President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. said in one of his rare media interviews that he will be putting in the best of the best in his government to help him run the new administration. So my first question, and I think the media is also begging for that question, if you are offered the same portfolio being the Secretary of the DOST, would you accept it? And why?
No more. Kahit sino pa ang naging presidente, ay gusto ko nang magbalik sa private sector kasi ang dami kong gustong gawin. Pwede naman ako makapagsilbi sa ating kababayan in other ways.
So, akala ko you're already tired, Secretary Boy, na gusto mo na magpahinga from public service.
Pwede pa naman ako maglingkod in other ways. Kahit hindi sa gobyerno.
Okay. Right now, in our previous discussion, you said that you are the chair, no? The Philippine Space Commission or Philippine Space Administration?
Designated lang, the chair of the Philippine Space Council po is the President of the Philippines. Okay, and it just so happens that during the last 4 meetings of the Council, okay, I have always been asked by the President to chair.
So, as chair, Secretary Boy, what is the direction of the Philippine Space Program? Kasi makikita natin, way ahead na yung mga ibang countries, ano? Tayo sa Asia, nasa dulo pa rin tayo. So, in the next 6 years, no? Itong bagong administration, what do you project, no? To be the status of the Philippine Space Program?
Yeah, actually, up to date ako ngayon dahil nga I have been chairing the Philippine Space Council and I have seen the what the new Philippine Space agency has been doing during the last year, and the plans that they have both in the medium term and long term. And basically, first of all, I see that they are continuing the services that we have started at DOST, kasi yung pagpo-provide ng mga space, yung mga data from satellites, not only from our own but also from those that where we belong to a specific consortia. And these are actually distributed by the Philippine Space Agency now to the various government national agencies like DA, DND, the ENR, the Security Council, the ILG, because these are very useful. For example, yung mga data na nakukuha, remote sense data, remote distance data, are very useful in monitoring, for example, the state of yung mga crops natin. Makikita mo doon yung sitwasyon sa ating mga forest o sa ating mga bodies of water. Makikita mo kung alin na yung mga nakalbong lugar, kung alin na yung mga dumubing mga lugar, lalo na sa tubig. Makikita mo din doon kung ilang boats ang nandun sa West Philippine Sea na hindi naman atin. At syempre, pagka nagkaroon ng disaster, ay madali nilang makukuha kung ano yung sitwasyon. So yan ay tuloy-tuloy. Pero ang mahalaga ay itinutuloy nila yung ating initiatives towards catching up. Sabi mo nga, medyo huli tayo dyan. Actually, latecomer tayo talaga sa space technology. Pero nung nauso po yung mga maliliit na satellites, bigla tayo pumasok. Yung mga mini satellites like Diwata 1 and 2, at saka yung nano satellites like Maya 1, Maya 2, Maya 2, Maya 3, Maya 4. Gumagawa sila ngayon ng Mula satellite. And here, the comments of our foreign partners, specifically the Japanese, is that while the Philippines came in late, we were a very fast learner. And hanga sila.
So, in the future, do you project that we will be able to launch our own satellites?
We've been launching. Yung launching itself.
The actual launching, you have to bring it to Japan pa.
The launching area is, of course, a very expensive infrastructure.
Okay.
And we really don't know whether it will be given a high priority in the allocation of resources.
Okay. In terms of education, Secretary Boy, kasi right now, I think there is no curriculum catering to courses that is directly related to space exploration.
Well, actually, yung ating Science Education Institute, kahit wala pa yung Philippine Space Agency, ay nakakaroon sila ng mga special training. Hindi siguro nakakarating sa lahat ng eskwelahan, pero yan ay kinakalat din ng Science Education Institute para maka-generate ng interest sa mga bata tungkol sa space science. And tuloy-tuloy yan, at ngayon nga i-pick up naman ng Philippine Space Agency. So, siguro yung paglalagay sa curriculum doon ay mangyayari din dahil total naman ay medyo mahaba yung ating hanggang grade 12 na tayo ngayon, kaya meron mga pagkakataon para dyan.
Okay, Joe, can you ask somebody to serve coffee and water here in front? Medyo nahihirapan magsalita yung mga guests natin pag walang tubig. Okay, thank you so much. Anyway, election. Katatapos ng election, Secretary Boy, And napakaraming nagko-question on the outcome of the election, Of course, hindi natin iiwasan yan because the country is so polarized, and divided, Anyway, let me go to the automated election system per se, okay? So, ano nangyayari kasi ngayon, you have your ballot, the ballot goes into the VCM, okay? The VCM supposedly reads the ballot, gives you a ballot receipt, okay? Yung voters validation receipt, alright? So, titignan mo tama, okay? As far as that is concerned, that is correct. Now, the VCM will consolidate all those individual ballots, okay, and produce an election return. Okay, the election return, you do not know whether it is the correct count or not. Nobody sees it, Hindi nakikita kung ano yung ginawa ng VCM. Basta makikita mo, ito, how do you know na ang bumoto talaga ganun kadami? Individually, the voter can ascertain kung tama yung nasa resibo, but collectively, nobody could ascertain if that is correct. Now, there are proposals from other sectors na yung pagbilang ng individual ballots gawing manual, or even if it is automated, it be shown somewhere in the screen and so on. So, the question is, can the DOST, particularly the ASTI, would they be able to develop a system similar to that? Or would it be beyond the mandate of the DOST to do such thing?
It is not beyond the mandate of UST. We can do it for 2025, provided there is collaboration with other government agencies and with the private sector. I just have one concern. Kasi nung pinag-uusapan pa, pinopropose pa yung amended automated election system. And by the way, I was in the advisory council of the automated election system from 2002 up to around 2010. And dito, merong isang provision sa batas, hindi ko alam kung yan ay siya pang umiiral, na kailangan ang makuha nating supplier ng services for the at saka hardware for the automated election system ay merong international experience. In other words, hindi po pwede ang mga bidder na walang experience sa international in the past. Okay? Ngayon, kung gagawa ang ASTI ng sistema, depende kung sino ang mag-a-adapt ng sistema na yon. Kung ang magiging recipient ng technology ng ASTI ay merong international experience, pwede silang mag-bid. Pero kung ang mag-a-adapt yan ay isang Pilipino company halimbawa na wala namang experience sa international election, baka constrain ng batas.
Tama ko doon, Secretary Boy, specific wording, in one of the provisions of the automated election system law is it should have been used in a previous election. So,
International pa.
So, yun ang magiging problema. Kung bago nga, paano sasabihin ginamit na in the previous election? And that really constrains on the use of a new system. Pero the law is silent if the system is developed internally or homegrown system. Ang sinasabi lang po magpo-procure ng system. So, if it's developed by the DOST or any government agency, then there is no procurement to speak of. Okay? So I think that would
yung technology, pwede mo sabihin walang procurement, pero sino yung talagang mag-i-implement? Hindi naman kaya ng ASTI.
Well,
yung pag-install sa lahat ng meron pa rin kailangan ng supplier. Kung sila ay i-adapt nila yung technology halimbawa ng ASTI, pwede.
Okay. Dr. Carl, ano ang views mo? Are you satisfied with the present automated election system or may gusto kang baguhin doon?
I actually share with your observation na while yung tao individually nakita natin kung sino yung lumabas dun sa resibo natin before natin ilagay dun sa parang, yung sa akin parang box lang na open. Yung what happened inside the machine and towards the canvassing is something we may not know. As I share your experience on that. Ako, I have high hopes na sana may mga model countries that they created their own systems at hindi sa third-party provider. Because I think the cost of our election and the cost that we paid the Smartmatic, for example, could be a good sizable amount already that could empower our own internal system to create the possibility na hindi na tayo mag-outsource, rather there's the agency that DOST can assist to create those. Sad ako dun sa narinig ko kay Secretary na hindi na siya interested to be extending the term to be Secretary kasi I've really witnessed on how he has really pivoted DOST to serve from households to space. From in every way of life of Filipinos talagang may science and technology. And I think Secretary, maybe he deserves a round of applause from all of us. Come on, palakpakan natin Secretary for that. Because I've witnessed from the fabric that we can wear to the food that are served on our table to the space. May pakialam lagi ang DOST, and they're very assertive on how it can be done better, and I really admire that. And I just hope, as a science ambassador, because I am, I really hope that the next secretary will be, if not as good, is better than Secretary Boy. Kasi nakita natin yun. Sir, as to election, as for me, I cannot complain about my numbers and the processes. I trust the COMELEC, I trust our system, and more importantly, I trust the Filipino people in their wisdom of choosing who the next leaders will be.
Dr. Kurt, there was an allegation from one of your previous band members. No? Kasi member na isang grupo, di ba? Magkakasama kayo ni Dr. Balita,
Larry,
Attorney Larry, doon, saka ikaw, no? And two
Yes.
others, no?
and two others. And Bo Castro, the president of the Philippine Medical, and attorney Dr. Tony Ribosa. Actually, si Mingita became part of us in a short period. Larry, original members kami ng band. Secretary Maynard, we sing. We sing together. Yeah. What's the allegation about?
Okay,
sir?
so there was an allegation na there was an operator, no? And then he offered 200.
He was offered.
Yeah, he was offered, no? A winning position in the top 12 for the amount of 200 million. No?
200 million, and later on negotiated to be lower. Yeah,
Pero he refused it.
He
Kasi
refused
wala
it.
ko siya ganun ng pera.
Yeah, may ganun nga daw. So far, hindi naman ako nilapitan dahil sigurado alam naman nila wala ako noon. Or kung meron man ako noon, hindi ko naman gagastusin yun.
Yes.
So, ako naman personally, wala akong personal experience. Also, I heard of that. Larry and I talked, and sinabi nga niya sa akin yun. At ang logic ni Larry is, if BBM got 30 million, he believes na he's the... I cannot speak for him, pero I share with this observation na siya naman talaga yung hardcore loyalist even before this election. Talaga, di ba, KBL pa nga siya. So sabi niya, kung 30 million, yun ang conversation na, kung 30 million yung bumoto kay BBM, kahit man lang kalahati nun, would have given me 15 million and assured me of a seat. Assured me of a seat. Yun ang logic niya eh. Kasi sabi niya, plus nararamdaman daw niya yung crowd, no? Especially during rallies. Sabi ko naman kay Larry, and considering na pang third na niya to, talaga masakit sa kanya, especially na ngayon yata, ngayon talaga siya nag-shine in this election. And I share with his feelings, pero I cannot confirm what he expressed and he shared publicly. 200 million, pinido ko pa nga siya, nag-negotiate na daw hanggang 50. Ay di sabi ko, sana ginawan mo na ng paraan para na-confirm natin kung totoo, di ba? Parang gano'n. But certainly, very sad kung talagang may gano'n. Kasi ako, I will tell the public na siguro kami yung isa sa mga pinakang masipag na kandidato. For 8 months, every single day, we were outside, traveling to the farthest areas that no presidential or no senatorial candidates ever tread. Like areas as far as Mindanao and northwest of the north and west of the west. Napuntahan talaga namin. Kami yung pinakang masipag, I put that on record. Kami yung pinakamaraming na-travel. And ako, kung nagganon lang pala yung alleged, ni Larry, malungkot. Pero ako hindi ko na tinitignan yun. Tinitignan ko na lang yung experience ko because it's not always the destination that matters, it's the journey. And I think my journey has been a very learning field journey, Secretary, Attorney. And I think I have now gained greater momentum to advance what I stood for in the campaign. And I'm keeping it up. And watch out. Watch out, there will be more of Carl Balita in the next few months. A few days actually. I'll be announcing some developments and some new things that I do. Ang pinakamahalaga is naramdaman ko yung Pilipino. At talagang kailangan ng Pilipino ng tulong. Ayun na naramdaman ko.
So, few days now, about the next 3 years. Do you still have a plan to run again
They're
in
pushing.
2025?
Yeah, it's actually the decision will not come from me. It will come from my family. Kasi hiniram ko lang yung decision na yun sa kanila. My 4 children, my wife especially, who joined me in the campaign. And I think it will come from them because there's going to be no decision, a major decision like running again, that will just be a personal decision. It will always have to be a family decision. And I will respect that because they watched me travel the 8 months of my life. And it depende, siguro kung makikita kong maganda yung electoral system and the people will still wanna, kasi naramdaman ko sa social media yung panghihinayang ng marami that I did not make it along with the others they named. Because I was representing, attorney, alam mo naman, I was representing the new face, the technocrat side of the campaign trail. And while I'm sad that a teacher did not make it, a health professional did not make it, I'm happy because now I have a voice louder than before and a face that could serve as the poster boy of many advocacies that I shouted during the campaign. And I will stay, tatayuan ko pa rin ng damit. I'm not sure, attorney, if I will be allowed. That's the answer to your question.
Okay. Anyway, good luck in your next endeavor that you would like to undertake after this election.
There are 3 things I want to do. I want to be back to the media. I'm negotiating for a television, radio show. Of course, I'll still be writing for the Business Mirror, tuloy-tuloy yun. And I'd like to thank publicly si Secretary for really reaching out to my audience through Dela because Lakas ng Siyensya became part of the program that I had with ABS-CBN. Second is I'll be writing a book. I'm actually starting my book. I'm in the outline already. I'm writing a book, ang title niya T-shirt.
Okay.
The title of my book is T-shirt.
Why?
Because that's the most popular word you hear when you are in the motorcade. That's
You have to throw them again.
That's what everybody was asking for. Siguro naririnig nyo yun. And I want to put the sociology and psychology in the T-shirt. Yes, I'd like to explain why T-shirt is what they want instead of platform or flyers where you put all the things that you want to do and your credentials. They'd rather get the T-shirt. No, I'll explain that. Number 3, attorney, I expect, by the way, that I'll be back in the media. Number 2, expect that I'll be writing more book. Number 3, I'll go back to school because there's another doctorate degree I want to pursue, so that I can be better in what I want to do in the next.
So ano naman itong doctorate degree na to?
Organizational development, and I want to finish it. Actually, I'm on it already. Then napasik sana nung pandemya, kaya lang mas naging priority ko yung navigating my organization, my company. But I really want to finish my PhD in organizational development so that I can be part of nation building in the organizational level. Because I think that's what we lack. We're not voting as organizations, as sectors. We're voting as people, as individuals. And by the way, I'd like to comment. If there's one lesson I've learned in this pandemic, in this election, dapat ang mga organizations hindi naging apolitical. Like for example, the Philippine Medical Association. Dalawa kaya yung doktor na tumakbo, but they did not stand up as one. The Philippine Nurses Association did not stand up as one. I mean, to publicly say, hey, we have a nurse running, please support a nurse. And by PNA, wala yun. Or hey, the dati namin presidente sa Philippine Medical Association tumatakbo ngayon. And another doctor running. Parang, ang sa akin kasi, why people are the ones voting fine, but organizations have shared vision with that candidate. Hindi ko alam kung hindi namin deserve na i-campaign or i-endorse or just gusto lang nilang maging apolitical considering na lahat ng problema ng professionals, for example, are political in nature. Pero hindi sila lumabas. I don't know if you know of any professional organization, for example. I don't know if it's unethical to do, but to me, in the context of society that is very political and in a very difficult fight like our fight, yun yung gusto ko lang sana. Sana matutunan na natin to take a stand, especially if it affects our profession, our organization, especially the public that we serve. Anong ending? Yung mga professionals na tumakbo, hindi kami nanalo. And ngayon, ang mangyayari ngayon, maglalabi kami ngayon doon sa mga binoto natin. No? Maglalabi kami to make them understand deeper and better the plight of this sector that we represent. So yun ang ang insight.
Okay, let me make a rejoinder to that, Dr. Carlo. For example, the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, no? Ito, hindi ito mag-endorse ng kahit na sinong abogado. Okay? Kasi napakadaming tumatakbo na abogado. And some of these lawyers, no, are even considered a disgrace to the organization. So it refrains from endorsing anybody, although they are a member of the integrated bar of the Philippines. Same thing with us in the media. No? Ako, it has always been my basic principle na if you are within the media, you must remain apolitical. Pero on a personal basis, you could vote who you want to vote for. Okay? And ito pa.
Ito pa, attorney. But for a unique candidate, like they pushed and, you know, became their leaders, that's probably, like in the case of lawyers, maybe it's different because marami kayo. Pero in the case of, I'm just talking of the health sector. Ang pinangihinayangan kasi namin is in the middle of the pandemic, and we are still in the pandemic, walang pumasok na health professional. Yun lang na regret ko ng konti. Nasabi ko, kahit man lang isa sana sa amin nakapasok, dahil magtutulong. Actually, mamayang gabi may minggita kami. Minggita Padilla and Secretary Peña will be going live together. Abangan nyo 7 p.m. in our Facebook accounts. Lalabas kami tatlo. Magkikwentuhan lang kami on our experiences. Ako personal yun sa akin. Hindi ko rin naman sir mapilit syempre na gano'n. Pero malaki sanang bagay kung tumayo rin kami as an organization. Which is why I want to understand more the dynamics of organizations, especially in the Philippines.
Okay, so napakagandang t-shirt syndrome. Natutuwa ako doon. And I have a personal experience. Although I would not tell before the public kung sino yung sinuportahan mo. Meron akong maraming t-shirts sa sasakyan. Tapos one time when I entered the subdivision, sabi ko doon sa guard, who would you vote for? Sabi ng guard, ito. Okay, ito may t-shirt ako. Tuwa siya, sabi niya, sir, tatlo po kami dito, pwede ba? Tatlo. I gave 3 pieces to him. And while I was doing that, the next car following me went out the car.
Iba namang t-shirt.
No, he asked me to give them t-shirts. So, 4 passengers, I gave them all. Then there was a tricycle following him. Puminto, then bumaba rin sa kanya, hingi din ng t-shirt.
Pero I'm sure hindi mo na-experience ko. Sabi, t-shirt. Sabi ko, wala po. Hindi kita iboboto. Okay. So, na-experience ko, t-shirt. Sabi ko, wala po. Kaya hindi na lang meron. So, and these are all anchored on some psychology, some human psychology, Filipino psychology, and, you know, psikolohiya ng electorate na kailangan siguro natin mas maintindihan. Kasi alam niyo, yung tatakbong susunod, ang tip ko sa inyo, magawa kayo maraming t-shirt. Kasi na gusto nila. Pero ang tanong doon,
maraming candy.
ang tanong doon, number one, boboto ka ba talaga na magsusuot? Kasi meron ako, collector lang ng t-shirt. Pangalawa doon is, maganda ba na yun ang hinihingi sa atin ng Pilipino? Kasi namimigay kami ng magagandang flyers na nandun yung plataforma. Ewan ko kung...
Walang nagpapasa ng plataforma, Dr. Carlos.
Madami kaming... Yung kumpletong nakasulat doon na gusto mong gawin, between t-shirt, yun ang gusto nila.
Dr. Carlos, no? Meron akong tinulungan na kandidato sa pagka-vice mayor sa isang lugar dito sa atin. Napakaganda ng plataforma. Pero pag may rally, walang gusto makinig. Ang hinihintay, ano yung pamilay. Okay? So, in the end, natalo siya. Ang nanalo, yung maraming pinagawa.
May kilala kong kandidato, 1 million t-shirt, pinagawa daw, sabi nung supplier ko. So, ang bihira magkano pera yun.
Nanalo yun.
Okay, so... Anyway, Juby, mamaya na kayo magpagpagpagpagpag kayo, Dr. Carlos. Secretary Boy, before you leave the Science and Technology Department, ano ibibigay mo dun sa mga undersecretary on what programs to pursue in the next administration?
Well, I think na pag-usapan na namin yan, actually, basically, ay unang-una, gusto ko talagang i-pursue yung aspeto ng regional equity na ang ating mga resources ay dapat talagang magkaroon ng malaking bahagi para sa mga region. Kasi ang development ng ating regions and we will contribute through science and technology ay malaki ang magagawa para mabawasan ang inequality sa ating bayan. Pangalawa ay gusto ko ding ituloy yung mga yung tinatawag nating mga nakaplano na sa ating innovation agenda. Kasi meron na tayo ngayong dalawang batas na in effect na, yung Innovation Council at saka yung Innovative Startup Act. And ito ay naniniwala akong malaki ang maiko-contribute para sa paglago ng ating economy, maging ika nga makagenerate tayo ng mas malaking income. And meron tayong mga gusto rin makita na mga i-adapt ng ibang sektor. Kasi kung minsan, yung ating mga nade-develop na technology, kahit yung mismong kasama nating mga departamento ay hindi ina-adapt. Nandiyan na yung ating electric train, hybrid electric train, nandiyan na yung ibang mga na-develop pa na mga produkto. Sana mabigyan ng pagkakataon na ang ating local industry, lalo na yung mga technology-based industry, ay lalo pang matulungan. Kasi ay naniniwala ako sa parang reliance on local technology. Kahit naman yung aking mga predecessors ay ganyan din ang paniniwala. At huwag natin kalimutan yung ating climate change. Kasi talagang isang bagyo lang at hindi ka nakapaghanda, nawa-wipe out yung mga nagawa mo. Nakakabuti. Yun basically.
Alam ko masagot dyan sa Secretary Boy kung bakit ayaw ng ibang ahensya na gamitin niya. Pero hindi ko sasabihin. Okay? Alam mo ni Dr. Card.
Pwede magtanong kay Sir.
Sige, sige.
Secretary, if you have one person in mind na dapat sumunod sa'yo, or the best secretary of the UST you have in mind, you have, I'm sure you may, should it be from the outside or from within?
Kung ako talaga ang tatanungin, ay gusto ko yung aking mga
Undersecretary.
Yeah, some of the best people.
Okay, so magagaling yung tao ni Secretary Boy. Yung lahat ng mga news niya. No? Okay, so we will now be entertaining questions from our media partners. Tatanong po kayo, please introduce yourself first before you ask the question.
Yes.
Morning. Good morning. I'm from Secretary Boy de la Peña. Yes.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Miss Marlene from Wingstop DL. Ako po ay suki na ng DOST at marami na rin po kaming napatest ng mga products. So, sino po ba ang pwedeng, kasi dati pumupunta ako sa office niyo. Bago ako magpagay sa mga ITDI, sa mga FNRI, nagpupunta po ako. Ngayon, sino po ba yung pwede namin lapitan ipasok na wala na po kayo sa office?
Ay, siyempre po, kung anong klaseng papatest ninyo, meron ng mga ahensyang tugma dyan. Halimbawa, kung ang papatesting mo yung metal, siyempre sa metals industry, kung papatesting mo yung pagkain, dun sa ITDI o kaya sa Food and Nutrition Research Institute, kung Dela ipapatest mo sa Philippine Textile Research Institute, kung wala silang facility doon, ay pwede mo lang i-access doon sa aming website ng OneLab. OneLab. Kasi doon, meron tayong mga network ng I think today ay umabot na sa 59 laboratories. Hindi lahat DOST yun. Merong mga laboratories galing sa ibang departamento, may mga private laboratories, at meron ding international laboratories na kung hindi kaya dito ay pwedeng gawin nila.
Yeah, thank you so much po.
Thank you.
Next question? Yes.
Morning po, my name is Jude Gaskin from the Journal Group of Publication. Secretary, good morning, Attorney, and Dr. Balita. Sir, you made mention climate change and Philippine space. Paano po nito? You're now leading the agency, so paano to ma-implement rapidly, especially the climate change? Itong nakalipas na taon talagang pinagyo tayo. Anong pwede niyong sabihin sa papat na sekretary at rapidly na ma-implement ka?
Yung kasi sa climate change ay may create na mga bagong organisasyon, ano, merong climate change commission, ano, at parang ang iba't ibang departamento ay may kontribusyon diyan. Ang sa tingin ko, kailangan lang talaga ng merong ano tawag dito, mahusay na coordinator dahil hindi naman kailangan mag-create ng mga bago pang mga ahensya, ano, dahil meron naman kanya-kanyang assignment Yung climate change, malaki kontribusyon dyan ng DENR. Yung climate change, malaki ang kontribusyon ng DOST. Yung climate change, malaki kontribusyon ng ating energy. Di po ba kasi yan ay nakakaano din? Kaya kailangan lang talaga ay whole of government and whole of nation approach. Kami po, kahit hindi kami ang leader, ay tumutulong kami halimbawa doon sa may kinalaman sa energy para mabawasan yung ating kontribusyon ng carbon dioxide. Tumutulong kami sa pag-assess at pag-promote ng energy efficiency, energy conservation, whether it is in the public sector or in the private sector. At nandiyan na rin yung ating mga talagang ahensya namin. Siguro, unahin kong banggitin, andyan naman ang ating pag-asa na salamat po sa Modernization Act ay talaga namang na-improve yung kanilang facilities at sa amin namang pamumulit ay talagang gumaling ang mga nagsipag-aral po ng mga masters, PhD, yung mga nandiyan sa pag-asa, sa PBOT. Kaya meron tayong tiwala. At nandyan din po yung aming mga ahensya tulad ng Advanced Science and Technology Institute at saka yung aming mga councils na nag-build din ng capability lalo na at the local government level.
So yung Philippine agency natin,
Philippine Space Agency po, ang DOST po ang nagtulak para magkaroon ng ganyang batas. Kaya lang nung nakarating sa Senado, kasi po ito ay pinropose na ilagay sa DOST at inapprove yan ng House of Representatives. Pagdating sa Senate, ang decision ng Senate ay ilagay ito under the Office of the President dahil maraming involved agencies like DND, DA, DENR, the Security Council, at ang DOST. Kaya yan ay ginawang under the Office of the President. Meron po dalawang Vice Chair, ang Secretary ng DOST at ang Secretary ng National Defense. At ang mahirap lang po ngayon, yung provision sa batas na ibibigay sa kanilang 2 billion, if I'm not mistaken, wala pa po.
Okay. Attorney, pwede isa pa? Isa pa po para naman kay Dr. Balita. Sure. Dr. Balita, with plenty of attachment to your name and napakaraming what do you think, what went wrong doon sa campaign? Bakit di ka pumasok doon sa Budget 12? Considering na without your knowledge, I'm also you're following doon sa program doon sa Dela before. So, ano kayang napunan? At least the weakest link.
Pera.
Ayun.
The first question I had to answer was that of, after I filed my COC, was the question of Peter Musni if I have like 400 million to win a seat. Of course.
Bakit naman po pa rin if you think that you have no money?
Because I resorted on the other possibilities without that. Kasi di ba 4M's yan eh. Man, message, machinery, money. Meron ako nung tatlo eh. Plus meron ako yung pang-5 yung Marites. Meron ako nun. Umasa ako doon. Umasa ako doon. I think it's a good start though. It's a good start, no? Considering na but from nowhere ako eh. Actually, others thought na nuisance ako before. Di ba? From somewhere to there. Tapos nakita ko naman yung idea na I wanna give people the chance to hear from others. And I think I succeeded in converting 4 million Filipinos to believe in what I conveyed. Even if I did not reach, I don't think I reached everyone, especially the voting population. I lack that money. Now, as to whether I should have that money to run again, no. I think we have broken the glass ceiling so that a lot of people would consider, maybe in the future, hopefully in the future, 2025, people like us. Yeah.
Okay, one final question, sir. One
Thank you,
final
gentlemen. Good night, thank you po.
Sir, is... Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Juvie de Guzman sa DWBL. Unahin ko lang muna si Sir Carl, Doc, kasi si Secretary, marami talagang accomplishment. Doc, alam niyo po, natuwa ako sa sabi mo, babalik ka sa media. Actually, ko ang pinasukan mo ay media group na marami po akong regret sa mga tumakbo na media. Tapos nanalo, no? Meron naging mayor, may naging vice president ng Pilipinas. Pero po, kung sakali kayo po ay pala rin muli na tumakbo, ano po ba yung dapat gamutin sa grupo ng media na talaga namang kapos na kapos ang media sa lahat ng financial, etc. etc. Ito po yung isang kawawa na grupo. Not all media are rich like you.
Ito related din sa tanong kay Sir. Tawagin, Sir, pakinggan mo to. Related sa tanong mo. A few minutes. Few minutes, yeah. Yeah, media wants to be apolitical.
Yes.
Pero once you are paid for political ads, then you use the same channel that you want to be apolitical. Maybe as practitioners, fine. You may want to communicate that you are apolitical. But the moment some media personality go off-air and go social media, alam mo na yung kulay nila. And of course, yung advertising. Actually, ang isang pinakamagastos, sir, related to your question is, I couldn't afford a 400,000 peso 30-second ads just to get my message along across the public. I mean, sorry, but that's related to your question. Ano yung kulang ko? Wala akong pambili ng political ads na umaapaw sa ibang kandidato. Kaya narating nila yung mga dapat marating. Kaya tsinaga naman namin to compensate. Tsinaga namin talagang masakit sa likod pero bumabiyahe ng 3 oras, 4 na oras para maabot sila. Pero kahit papunayin mo yung gymnasium na 3,000, medyo sobra. It may have compensated somehow, pero not enough doon sa ganung cost.
Okay. Kay Secretary, last lang. Secretary, since nag-decide na po kayo na hindi na kayo papasok sa gobyerno, sino po ang next in line na pwede po pumalit sa inyo na ang kalibre po ay kagaya rin ng
Palagay ko
Secretary?
nasagot na yan. Nasagot na kami niya.
Ano na?
Anyway,
Can you say it again?
maraming salamat, Juby. Maraming salamat. We will now be asking their closing remarks. Simulan natin kay Dr. Carl Balita. Dr. Carl.
Salamat sa lahat ng media na tumulong sa akin. No? Alam nyo, wala akong... Kakasin lang muna yung manok. Salamat po sa tulong ng media. Pagpapasalamat ko sa inyo. I can see familiar faces. Hello mga kasama ko sa Quezon City. Salamat po sa pagbibigay ng daan para sa maiabot ko ng may paabot ko ang tinig ko sa naaabot din naman ng network niyo. Salamat sa inyo. Pero higit sa lahat, salamat sa taong bayan, sa mga Pilipinong bumoto sa akin, halos 4 na milyon. Pero alam ko mas marami pa dapat na interesado doon. Parang, alam mo yung failure ko, attorney, ay hindi ako pumasok. Yun ang naging eye-opener sa marami. Nasayang pala siya. At I think kung magkaka-election uli ngayong linggong to, baka mas marami pa akong boto. Pero really, salamat. And more importantly, salamat sa partido ko, kay Isko Moreno, kay Doc Willie, at yung 3 senatorial boss na kasama ko. Salamat sa inyo dahil hindi naging masyadong magastos from my end yung naging pagtapo ko. At more importantly, salamat sa friendship na na-enjoy namin together. Sabi ko nga, it's not always the destination, but it's the journey. My journey of 8 months offering myself to the general public is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. And I have learned so much from it that I'm a better Filipino now and even more committed to helping the Filipinos more than ever. Kasi nakita ko sila, mas naramdaman ko sila. Thank you for this opportunity, and as to whether there's going to be a Carl Balita for Senator in 2025, I'll cross the bridge when there is a bridge.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Carl Balita. Secretary Boy, closing.
Actually, gusto ko din magpasalamat sa media. Alam naman yung istorya ng DOST, katulad din yung sinabi ni Dr. Balita. wala din kami perang pambayad sa TV, no? Kaya hirap na hirap kami ma-broadcast yung mga gusto namin i-disseminate. Ano? Minsan meron kami nakukuhang amount at ginagamit namin. Pero actually, yun din na isang dahilan kung bakit kami nagka-partner ni Dr. Balita. Kasi naghahanap din kami ng affordable namin na disseminate. But anyway, considering the restrictions, kami ay from 6% awareness ng publiko, umabot tayo sa 25%. After 6 years, at sana tumaas pa through the help of media. At sana ay magkaroon tayo ng mas marami pang albits bitangkol na ika nga tuloy pa rin ang kanilang pagsusulat tungkol sa science and technology. Anyway, Carl, ito ay labas na sa DOST. Gusto ko lang ipaalam kay Carl na pwede naman tayo in private capacity na magtulong pa rin para sa advocacy natin sa small enterprises. At of course, maganda na yung umpisa natin dyan. Salamat.
Secretary Boy, alam niyo si Secretary Boy, favorite topic yan sa column ko sa Damadino. Okay, one of the best secretaries ever produced in the government. And pag meron nga akong mga sinusulat about DOST, no, not really only about Secretary Boy, nakikita ko pinupost din yan doon sa group chat ng DOST. So anyway, Secretary Boy, I assure you na I will continue supporting DOST, no? And in fact, gusto nga namin maging partner with the Philippine Space Agency para meron silang avenue by which to inform the public of what they are doing. Pero mukhang Dr. Marciano ghosted us eh. So, nakipag-communicate kami sa kanya pero eventually hindi siya sumasagot sa communication namin. So anyway, so yun. And with whoever will be replacing you, I hope na they will continue communicating with us. And they are always welcome, no, to attend our forum on a weekly basis, simply to give out, no, kung ano yung dapat ipaalam sa ating mga sambayan ng Pilipino. Okay?
Thank you, Alvin.
Okay, so of course, si Attorney Alvin Tangkol, bago ako magpasalamat, let me acknowledge our media partners, Mr. Rosel Lopez, Joshua Baltao, Alfred. Yun, so next time, magsulat kayo ng magandaan. Okay. Nes Aguilar, Marilyn Gumbon, Victor Salonga, GB De Guzman of DWBL, Jomar Balote, hindi ko alam kung sino ito taga-saksi, hindi ko mabasa ang pangalan.
Artson.
Okay?
Artson.
Hindi naman ikaw yun eh. Jimmy Mendoza ang pangalan yun.
Siya ang susunod.
Okay. Mr. Paul John Reyes of People's Balita, Neil Veranda of DZME, Alan Cinco of IBC 13, Victoria Cruz, June Ligaspi of People's Tonight, and meron pang mga iba na hindi pa
Bernard. Minyoso.
Okay, hindi ko sumulat dito eh. Kapag wala akong sulat dito, hindi kita pamagbitin.
Miss Rio Ara ng Manila Standard. Patole, si Rio Ara ng Manila Standard.
Okay. Anyway, so maraming salamat sa inyo. Hanggang sa susunod na linggo, no? Ito po, ang Diretsahang Pananaw. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat.
Secretary ko wala.
Kasama ko sa Jimmy.
1, 2, 3.
Magandang
Hihingin nila ako ng copy niyan, ha? Wala ko nagdala ng